女士们、先生们，欢迎来到李世锋茶谈录。Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a tea with Li. Today, with great honor and pleasure, we are having Ivonne from Las Vagas, United States. Her Chinese name is Li Aifu. So Ivonne is a great master of spirituality, and now she is training Taiji, Qigong, and so many different arts for helping people to be healed, to encourage them to dive into life. So, Ivonne, please, how and why you choose Taiji and Qigong as your approach to you and also to lead your friends in spirituality?
Oh, first of all, Shifu, 谢谢. Thank you for having me. Ni hao, everyone. I'm from Mexico originally. I live in Las Vegas, and hopefully it's not going to be too noisy. You know, tea, which is cha dao, gong fu cha, is what brought me to Tai Chi. It was not earlier that I came into that. My son has been training in Shaolin Kung Fu since he was really little. He found his Shifu, his teacher, and I was surrounded, but I was not paying attention. And even though I've been studying meditation for many years and practicing with many teachers and studying Buddhism and everything, it was not until I took my first class of Tai Chi that I really believe, Shifu, that the Chi chose me. I don't know how to explain, but I felt when I began to practice Tai Chi, I was with a broken leg, a lot of broken bones, a broken heart. I had a lot of things like broken, but it was like if the Chi wanted to heal me. And the first time that I felt the Chi, it was like game over, you know, and I understood that obviously I became obsessed in trying to find it until I said, I'm not gonna find it anymore. But the Chi was trying to heal me. And I felt the healing. And I wanted to transfer that to many more people. And I mean, thanks to Tai Chi, you and I met. I think the Chi had me the blessing to meet you and your brothers over there. I'm so excited. And it was all because of tea. You know, it was also because I went to China, to the Shaolin Temple, and something happened to me, Shifu, there. I think it was karma or maybe past lifetime things or something in my soul. But I was awakening to a new possibility of being a better human and serving people better. And so I included now to communicate and tell them about you, about Tai Chi, about Qigong, because that energy, I don't even know if it's an energy, but those forces of the universe, like you call them, you know, all of the elements are really trying to help us, you know, and so that's why, Shifu.
Cool, and I'm happy that somehow the Qi or the Qigong, Taiji, and Shaolin Kung Fu, and also the Tea helps you to rebuild and to also to strengthen your life and yourself as well. So now back then, we are talking about tea. You and me, we are drinking tea. So
yeah.
Most of Westerner, I mean, of course, they like tea very much. They drink tea, but also a lot of them, they drink coffee. And so many of them, they just drink tea, not so into the culture and the history, philosophy behind the tea. So what brought you to the tea ceremony, and what made you so fascinated in tea?
So Shifu, it was almost more than 20 years ago that a teacher of tea from Japan, actually, that was a Chado teacher, was visiting our home and gifted me a whole tea ceremony set. A teapot, a matcha whisk, but I ignored it. I had it like decoration, imagine. Then another teacher came from China. Well, he was from Switzerland, I believe, that has studied with China, and he passed on his wisdom. And he was in my house. I didn't pay attention. I kept drinking tea in the little bags. But all of these objects began to arrive to my house. I kept receiving gifts from China, very old, beautiful cups from the Ming Dynasty. So it kept coming until I began to pay attention. And one day I remember sitting down, just pouring water with one of the teapots in my cup, and something happened inside of me that the water that I was serving, it was like the same water that was moving in me, like the element of water. And it woke me up, and I began to practice, and I began to study with many teachers. I began to study all the ways of Gong Fu Cha, the Cha Dao from China, because for anybody that doesn't know, China is the mother of tea. And I love to say that because I like to honor where the ancestral wisdom from. And it was China that it came from. So I started for over 20 years, almost 15 years, until people began to ask me, can you serve me tea? Can you do this? And I didn't know until one teacher told me, you should do that. He said, you won't be able to do tea ceremonies until you serve other people. Tea ceremony is not for you. It's to serve others. It's to engage in conversation. It's to let the tea heal them. It's to let the qi flow in the water. And all the elements, the fire that hits the water, the wind, the air that actually cools the water that we drink, the water that holds the tea, and the earth element, and also metal and wood, as you know. So it has been, tea was an unexpected teacher that has guided me so gently in my life. And now I incorporate tea in everything I do and to whomever I serve. Because I am a humble student of it. I'm never a master of it. I'm always a student of tea.
Beautiful story. I'm so happy that maybe as you said, in Chinese we call it 缘分. Somehow it is translated as fate or destiny. That, even in the very beginning, you didn't really pay attention on tea. But for some reason, with time goes by, and you are diving so deeply into the tea, and you clearly understanding the culture and the elements of the tea. As you mentioned, the 5 elements. Maybe for Western world, let's say, you use the other way to explain its 4 elements. You bring the air, right? The air,
Yes.
can cooling our tea, and I would like to say thank you, because I just using the Chinese way to talk about tea, as you mentioned. To drink tea, to have tea, to plant tea, we need 5 elements, right? The
Yes.
earth to produce the wood. Tea is the wood, is the plants. And the metal, we need to use the metal to cook the water, to boil the water, also to sometimes to cook the tea. And fire to heating up the tea, and water to make tea and water together to drink it. And this is how we use the 5 elements to explain the tea, which is such a unique stuff or material or thing to drink, to enjoy, to feel. And you bring the air, in Western way, maybe you have like earth, air, wood, and water and fire, right? Water and fire. These 4 elements, and the air help us to cooling the tea. So this is such a unique and very personal but down to earth understanding of tea. So you are indeed a master of tea ceremony, and okay, for sure. And here I would like to say, anybody who would like to enjoy tea ceremony and also practice the tea ceremony, the way of tea, the art of tea, and also welcome to directly contact with Ivonne. She is such a such a master of tea. Okay, so this is the tea topic. Okay, now back then. So what brings you to the spirituality? I mean, you interviewed dozens of masters about spirituality. So spirituality now is getting more and more popular in the world, because now we somehow, most of the people, they overcome the very basic necessary of living, which is like eating, drinking, sleeping. So beyond this, everybody, let's say, or most of us, we are searching for the spirituality. So how you choose spirituality as your hobby and profession in a sort of way?
Well, Shifu, to be honest, the real answer is going to be the same as faith. I wish I could say it in, I love Chinese language, how you said the word faith and destiny.
Yuanfen, yes.
Yansen, okay.
Yuanfen,
okay.
yes.
I learned
okay.
to do this. But it was really young. When I was 4 years old, my grandmother used to go to church. In Mexico, that's a big thing, Catholic church or Christian church, but it was Catholic. But she used to go to church to celebrate the God as woman, the Divine Mother, which is the Holy Mother. And no one wanted to go with her because she woke up at 3 a.m. to go at 4 a.m. to celebrate on December 12th, the Virgin or the Holy Mother and the principle of that. And I was the only one that wanted to go. I was 4 years old. And so I will wake up, and no one wanted to go with her. And I remember the joy. And it just overtook me every time. It was like feeling like home. I could not see anything of a dead God. I could not resonate with any of that, but I could resonate with bliss. I could resonate with the Holy Mother, that later on through Buddhism, I understand the bodhisattvas and the Buddha principle and the awakening of that. And it was really young. I didn't have to choose. Again, I think this path chose me because no matter how much I've been trying to be aware of it, I tried to do only business coaching. I tried to do leadership trainings. I'm going to teach about money or nothing. Everything brings me back to this. And I think I have a moral responsibility of that. I like to interview a lot of people, as you said. I've been very blessed to meet the best teachers in the world. And some people focusing on becoming the best teachers like yourself. I mean, I cannot even believe that I'm here talking to you right now. This is fate. This is a karmic thing. I must have done something good in my past lifetimes to be able to talk with someone like you. I always feel like that. But all of these, what my path has been leading me into, besides I keep studying Buddhism because I love it as education for my mind. I keep studying the ways of like Jesus, how he led, not the religious part, but how he was a leader, how he was able to attain that Buddhahood, right? That bodhicitta. But my goal of spirituality is really to bring more compassion in the spiritual world, number one. Number two, celebrate unity and diversity, because what is happening in spirituality right now that has become popular. Number one, people don't honor the ancestral lineage. That's why I wanted to honor China as the mother of tea, as the mother of the Shaolin arts, as the mother of Zen, as the mother of true spiritual foundations, alongside with India, right? And there's so much sect, so much division right now of like, you need to do the Japanese way, you need to believe only in Theravada or Mahayana, or be a Christian or be a Catholic. What we need is more bodhisattvas in the world, more unity and diversity, more love between one another, and more acceptance of our differences, and in there pursue mastery, right? And in their pursuit to become the best, like what you do with your students. I always watch your videos and I'm like, oh, Shifu, I'm still scared. But that's what spirituality is bringing me. I have a very unique and special connection with what people call God. I don't feel a separation. I feel very connected, and I feel like that I have a moral duty to serve and to help and to communicate these topics in a way that can be translated in different languages of the mind, of the body, and of the soul.
Incredible. Actually in China, we have like 3 characters, Shen, Xin, Ling. I mean, no, in Western world, you have three characters, 身心灵, body, mind, and soul. So in China, we have a quite a similar one called 精气神, essence, energy, spirit. So they are explain what we need or what we are looking for in different way. So the spirituality, so is one of the Chinese people we are looking for, called 神, spirit. Exactly. So, and I'm happy that you are in the faith to dive into the spirituality. Now you bring the way of spirituality to help healing so many people, and also to guide them to search for their own spirituality. And as you mentioned, you are blessing to interview and to have some experience and sharing with so many best, master across the world. I would like to say, actually, they are looking for you because you are the one will give them opportunity and also to help them to express whom they really are, what they are doing in reality. So this is, for me, we had a conversation as well half a year ago. I would like to say thank you for
thank you.
Yeah, for offering me opportunity to share my system, 中进道 system. You know, when the energy flows in balance, the pulse emerges. This is the 中进道. And also to let people know my Li世锋功夫academy and also Li's Kung Fu tea. So it's like when some people used to say, when the students is ready, the teacher will appear. So sometimes when the teacher is ready, the students will appear. Because you are ready, you are the teacher of organizing, also guiding the people. So like me, and the other, the masters, we are somehow like your students are ready for you, are coming to you, and thank you. Okay, so now we come to, you mentioned that you like Buddhism.
Yes.
And so which quote or which words from the Buddhism you are finding of the best?
Okay, so oh my God, that's a question for, I can answer it in many lifetimes. Hopefully not, but the first book that found me, in the Buddhist teachings was and I think it's pronounced Dao De Jing, the Dao De Jing of Lao Tzu.
And the Taoism.
And the Dhammapada. The truth that can be spoken is no longer the truth. I remember reading that when I was 12, and it got me so, it was like if someone put cold water on top of my head. When I read, I had a very little Dhammapada, and I'm surrounded by Buddhist books right now around here. But it was mainly that. But then as I grew up older, hopefully wiser, and I began to really feel okay to study Buddhism, because I had a lot of a clash, because I was raised Catholic and I was really driven to Buddhism makes sense. It was so practical. It's education for the mind. It's education of the human realm, the ghost realm, the animal realm. It just makes sense to me since very little. No one had to tell me. But then I heard someone was chanting something that I came to know later as the Heart Sutra, the Prajna Paramita Sutra. And that really, Shifu, that took a turn in my life. And I started singing it since 2012. And it was last year that I got to pass it on to others, just to pass on the sutra. But so the Mahayana teachings of Buddhism really resonate well with me. The Dhammapada, the Diamond Sutra, I'm currently studying it, and probably you know this from China. I love this little book that a lot of kids read. I forgot how it's called. All the precepts where they speak about the virtues, about filial piety. I forgot what it's called, but my son has to read it every day with his shifu. It's those are the kind of scriptures that I like and the practice. And obviously, shifu in 2022, at the end of 2022 and at the beginning of 2023, I really took the vows very serious of the Bodhisattva, the 4 Bodhisattva vows. And I thought I was just taking the vows there. You probably know that it changes your life. My whole life has been, from that point on, it's been like changing, all into those 4 vows. So I hope I answer your question, Shifu.
Yeah, cool. And actually, you bring the first one. It's so you read the Dao De Jing, the Tao Te Ching, and the very first proverb, 道可道非常道. You know, if the truth or if the Tao, the truth can be talked or spoken, it's not the eternal truth, right?
Eternal truth.
It's not the truth. You mentioned that it's somehow it's like the cold water, you know, flowing or crashing on your head, so make you so clear and clean. So what I feel when I read it, you know, I remember that when I was on the train, you know, I read with my kinder. So when I read the Tao Te Ching, for example, about the water, the greatest kindness is like the water. So water will nourish everything without argue no one, without, you know, having trouble with anybody. So, and also water will going down to the low place. That's why water is so high, is so great. You know, like water will go to the ocean, from the mountain go to the ocean. That's why water is so powerful. And also because of Lao Tzu talking on the water, you know, formless, shapeless, you know, like water. And also later Sun Tzu, the writer of Art of War, you know, about the military, get inspired. And then later, so Sun Tzu used to say the form of the military, of your troops, the arrangement should be like water, shapeless, formless. If you are in shape or in form, your opponent will detect your form and shape, and you will lose the war, the game. So later, Bruce Lee incredibly simplified it, give us the great philosophy: be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend. So this actually originated from Tao Te Ching. So I'm very happy that from Tao Te Ching you get some another, you know, way of research to get the Buddhism, the Heart Sutra. You know, in Heart Sutra they also talk about be formless and shapeless, because Heart Sutra said 色不异空，空不异色，色即是空，空即是色, right? The form is the emptiness. The emptiness is the very form, right? And so something like this. So they talk about the form and emptiness is such a same thing. Like a form and formless in a sort of way, they are also same thing as well. If we, you know, being more awakening to think about it. Because the form, there is formless. Because the formless, there is the form. This is what Lao Tzu said. You know, when somebody is taller, we can see somebody is shorter. If everybody is taller, there is no shorter. So like yin and yang. So there are the reflection, like the mirror. And also today I just talked with the ex-mayor of this town, Mr. Li, also same Li. Also your
Yeah.
Chinese name is Li as well, like Bruce Lee. Okay. And also he mentioned about 中智中和. So all should be balanced, should be harmonic. And this is 中国, China, the center, the central kingdom. So this is we thought we are the central kingdom. Maybe Mexican, in Maya culture, you thought you are the central kingdom, whatever. But it's about balancing, about the center. So
Yes.
This is what Lao Tzu and also Buddha would like to, encourage and also enlighten us for the spirituality, to balance ourselves, to balance our friend and family, more open to say, to balance the world, to help the world to be in balance. And thank you for you sharing your great story about how you dive into Taoism as well, and also Buddhism right now. Okay, the last question is, so what does, no matter the tea, let's say, what does the tea mean to you?
What does the tea mean to me?
Yeah.
The tea means, well, the tea, I love that it starts in English. Tea starts with the word teacher. Number one is a teacher. Number two, I don't know if I have time, but very briefly, there's a story of the emperor at that time. I cannot pronounce it right now. I forgot it, but the emperor that was looking for Chinese medicine, right? And with all of his people, Zhong, I'll remember in a moment the right pronunciation. But the emperor was really tired looking for the herbs up in the mountains. You know how hot it gets and humid in China. And he rested, and he had a cup like this with water only. He put it by his side, and the tea, he was resting in a plant. He didn't know what that was. And when the emperor fell asleep because it was so hot, the water was by his side, his cup, the plant woke up. The plant was Camellia sinensis. And that's the tree where all the teas come from: green tea, oolong, pure, white tea, yellow tea. And Camellia sinensis woke up, and one little leaf of the plant said, "Mama, what is that?" And the mama plant said, "Well, that's a human." And the little leaf said, "Well, I want to become human." And the mama plant says, "We'll help you." And they call the sun. "Sun, will you help us?" The heat, the fire. "Yes, I will help you." "Wind, will you help us?" "Yes, I will help you." "Mama Earth, will you help me?" "Yes, we will help you." "Water in the cup, will you help me?" "Yes." "Metal, because there was the metal, the cup, and all of that. Will you help me?" So all the elements says yes. So the plant, the Camellia sinensis, sacrifices the leaf. The leaf floats and falls into the cup with water. The sun begins to warm up the water. The water is already helping. The wind helped the leaf fell into the cup. And suddenly the emperor, Shennong, I think, the emperor Shennong, or the medicine man Shennong, wakes up and smells and feels revitalized and feels so renewed. And he's so happy and feels so healthy. And he says, "What is this?" And looks at the cup, and the tea has changed into the first green tea. And so he drinks it naturally. He smells it, sips it. And the moment he drank the tea, the plant became human because the emperor became it. But now this is the next part, and that's why I love tea. So the emperor, or the Shennong, the medicine man, he begins to share it with all the people of the elite, all the emperors, all the high class only, until one day he feels really uncomfortable months after, and he says, "This is getting all our emperors, our empress, all of the consorts, everyone is becoming really healthy. We need to bring this to the people." And he finds ways to cultivate the tea that are cheaper, that are more accessible to everyone else. And he creates the first teas. And it was when the first person that was not of the high rank of the people drank the tea, that not only the tea has become human through this Shennong, but in the moment that the emperor or Shennong shared it with the people, Shennong became tea. So that's my goal. Can I become a good tea? Can I serve people a better tea so that we all can keep passing this wisdom and this healing to each other, without judging each other spiritually, without separating each other by ranks, by how much we know, but how much we can help each other grow, you know, in the challenge of being human. So I'm sorry to take so long, but that's why I really love tea. How can I become a better tea to serve other humans that will become me, and I will become them in the process?
Wow, it's an amazing story. I'm so being touched by your wonderful understanding about that. Exactly as I mentioned, you are the good tea. So that's why all of us would like to have the tea ceremony with you.
Oh, I would love
to get empowered from you. And once again, okay, for all of you guys who are watching us, you know, if you are looking for the master of tea, and also now also to like to search your own spirituality, to be guided to the spiritual way, indeed, Ivonne Li爱芙 is the exactly teacher you are looking for. And also she's training Taiji and Qigong. She has a lot of experience. And for anybody who would like to dive into Taiji and Qigong, also maybe a little bit Shaolin Kung Fu world, welcome to directly contact with her. And later,
they have to go to Shifu. For tea, they can come with me. But for Tai Chi, I'm just a student, please.
Yeah,
just a student.
You can share with them. So yeah, so I will put Ivonne's link and the social media below. So for anybody who would like to reach out to her. And here again, so by Li's Kung Fu Tea, Li Shifeng Kung Fu Academy in Zhong Dao training system, we are ready, as Ivonne said, to serve you, to be together with you, to strong our body, open our mind, and find our way of spirituality. Okay, Ivonne, thank you again. 好，再见，悄悄，悄悄，
再见，
再见。